So, I'm just gonna talk here because I'm making a breakfast, and it's a small breakfast because I don't have resources. I would have never moved in this house if I had known and was able to use my brain. I would have never purchased this house. So, my brother Kenny is a complete fuckbag. I've had my accounts hacked. I've had my relationships gamed up, just as I've said before, and I'm just not able to reach any real people on my new Facebook. So if you can support me, that would be wonderful. But I don't know who my supporters are. You see what I mean? Because I didn't know that these people weren't the supportive kind. They were not supporting me. They were trying to game up my life, just as I've said a lot of times in my work online. So, excuse me while I wash my hands. So I guess I'm on Facebook now again. And it's at Cobra Merton. I have no access to my name on this specific line. And that's why I haven't been able to minimize to one phone, is because they have access somehow mirroring me or having malware or something. They're leaving me in a maze fighting for my life, right? So I gotta wash my hands really good because all I have is cold water now, and they know that I need a detox, and they know that the hot water helps, so it takes me 4 hours to make a hot bath for myself and continue at least detoxing in that way. And utilizing teas. I have a detox tea, and I use mint tea. I have a little ashwagandha, and I'm trying to do what I can to heal my body, because the medical community simply is not trying to help me heal, or not trying to help me do they're not even trying to do a process of elimination to help me find out what's in my body. They're just staging it up as mental health. He needs to be on mental health pills, and he's got a mental health issue when I don't have a mental health issue. I have a mental problem with these people doing what they've done to me. I have a very covert, long-standing, acute arsenic poisoning that's been gaming up my entire life and love life. But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with my mind when I'm not being poisoned. It was poisoned. If I'm being unwittingly poisoned, sure, that makes it really easy to suggest that I have a mental health issue, right? But that's not the actuality of what the truth is. So I don't know what supporters I have. If you guys can find my petition, find my campaigns, share them on your walls on Facebook or on X or Telegram or WhatsApp or anything that you use on your phone, basically, for your social reality of your own phone's personal business. I don't have to know all of that. It's just, if you guys can support me on your own channel or on your own wall, and just ask people, or just put a post out here and there that suggests, hey, this kid has been hacked. He has no social outreach that he used to have before. I'm going to raise this up a bit. He has no support that he used to have. And so, if you guys can support him, it would mean a whole great deal to him. Add him on this new Facebook channel. Share his work. If you guys can sign my petition, that would be wonderful. I would like to be able to go and speak in front of Congress about the issues that I've been dealing with all of my life. And I believe that I wholeheartedly deserve that chance and deserve that opportunity, because it was much like I was being unwittingly poisoned up until about a year and a half ago. And then you don't really know these things or notice these things until you're actually dying. And you just know, like, this is something happening to me. Just the same way I knew at, 22 or 27 or 34. I knew that something was happening to me that I couldn't explain to people. And so that's why it makes me look crazy, unable to go out and rollerblade now, because if I do that and I get my heart rate going, I legitimately feel like I'm gonna lose consciousness and flop to the ground and have, I'm just gonna end up dead, just the way a long-standing covert arsenic poisoned victim would do. And so I've experienced a lot of shortness of breath, a lot of challenges with my heart, a lot of challenges that have not been being met with the health providers or the medical field to be able to help me do the process of elimination, like I'm saying. And so that's why I'm trying to get to other people here, because I just don't think it's fair that on my Facebook I can add any fake account that's got one or two pictures. I can add any artificial intelligent run fake account, but I can't reach actual people. Here and there, sure, I've contacted people and gotten real people in my Facebook, but the fact of the matter is that they're trying to stop me from even that on the phone that I can get it on. So when I have these campaigns and say I create from this phone, I can't upload it onto Facebook. I have to upload it to my phone number or transfer it to family text to where it goes through to that other number, and then copy it and share it onto the other phone, you see. So it's more time, energy, resource, and it's stealing away my actual data. You see, I'm not able to utilize my data the way I would like to utilize my data, and I'm paying for both phones, you see. So it's stealing away the money that I'm even paying for the services that I should be getting. So it's not giving me appropriate services. It's not giving me appropriate availability to reach other people and to actually reach real people, real family people in my life. I don't want to say names, but I've searched, some of my cousins and some of my aunts and uncles and stuff, and I hit the add button, add friend. Well, it's not letting me add them, ever. You could wait a whole day. You could wait, an appropriate time to where you're not spamming. You're just trying to grow slowly. Again, and I'm growing from experience of these things happening to me, sure, but the fact of the matter is that if I'm being put into a situation where not only can I not get the help from this system for a premeditated crime over me of this length, based on, my father, my brothers, Jesse Lee, Emily Dodge, Aurelia Albericani, Cheryl Rita, and then others, throughout my life, if they're being bribed or otherwise. I believe even growing up in high school, or from high school, there was people that were gamed up in that fashion, much like this Learned kid growing up in Kimberly Meadows had taken my hand, and I was a little kid, and he's sitting there burning my hand, and I was just bullied left and right. I had sand thrown in my eyes, and I just wicked people being wicked people all over my life ever since I was born. And I'm talking even my own father, my own brothers, where I just didn't, how are you going to understand those things at such a young age, especially you're in diapers, or you're just starting to not be in diapers per se. But if you're poisoned up since you were a little child, it's no wonder why I wet the bed until I was 11 years old or 12 years old. And then you can look it up too. That's arsenic poisoning. That's what it does to you. It's legitimately what you don't stop at 7 or 8. You stop much later because your mental framework is a lot younger than what you actually are, you see? And so that's why I say, and I've even said that, they're realizing these things at 43 years old, for crying out loud, and knowing and being able to study, what is poison? What would people use to poison me with? And so I went through and did a process of elimination, just like I've said in other work, but I discovered it. I discovered it for verbatim, at least one of the poisons that was being given to me, and that's an arsenic trioxide poisoning. And I wasn't born with the camera on my head. You know what I mean? If I was, maybe I could be like, here's the information. I'll put it on the computer for you, Mr. Popo, and you can look at it for what it'll probably be like. That's out of our jurisdiction. You'll have to go through this, that, or the other, and then you'll go through this, that, and the other, and they'll just ignore you. It's you try and find the help, you try and find the resources. I mean, even in legitimate situations, and I'm not able to get to those people. So I'm not able to get the help that I deserve. I'm being mismanaged on all fronts of my life concerning a very heavy crime against me, you see. And I don't know what to do about it, because it's been not only from my first apartment to my second apartment to, even before that, living with my mom, or growing up with my mom, and these brothers of mine just never actually being supportive of me. They would just be out hurting me. And I realized, at least at points in my life, where I'd lose that memory too, and I'd lose a lot of these memories, but they're not shaky memories. They're actually solid memories of me suggesting to myself, I'm going to run away from home, and I'm going to pack a bag, and I'm going to go on a train, and I'm going to get away from these people because they're not loving me correctly. They're not, maybe my sister and my mom weren't included in what these boys were treating me like and doing to me when, they weren't around and going out and playing baseball or doing what they wanted to do. But anything else in my life, it was as if they just didn't have support for me at all. I'd go to them about the contents of their character, saying, "Look, what you did the other day hurt me. Why would you do that to me?" And then they would just, I don't know. I don't know. It hurts really bad. Like, it hurts really bad. But then to play about my life with my friends, with my comrades, with my people. And I'm sure that maybe, there's people that aren't in that way, but to the heart's level, but they're not here. They're not here now. I've been speaking out for 2+ years. Where are they? If you're my friend, okay? If you're my friend and you're my comrade, where the fuck are you in my life right now? Like, I don't live that far away for you to show up and suggest, what can I do to help you, man? And I'm even mentioning what you can do from right where you're at. And does anybody care? Does anybody? Or we all just let people die? Just no problem whatsoever. Who cares, right? He's just fighting for his life over there. And he wouldn't be in that place and putting all the money and all that time and energy that he worked so hard on when he was homeless to fight. For all that time. Like, probably at times I would work, 120 hours a week or better. I would probably work, 80, 90 hours the next week, and then I'd be working next to like 150 or 160 hours the next week. But it was because I wanted to stay on my grind, because I knew that if I wasn't able to get the money to figure out what was happening to me, and I wasn't able to get out of the situation of being played covertly and dealing with the covert warfare over my life, I would have never been able to figure this out. And so my moving here was like, well, this is the last place that I want to fucking be. 2 blocks away from my fucking ex-murderer friend, if you ask me. He's a fucking cage-ass piece of shit, because I'm sorry, but with an accusation as deep as I'm making it be, because of it being the truth, I'm not speaking on things that are speculative unless I'm legitimately saying that out of speculation I'll tell you, but out of the long-standing way that I've been played with, and I have legitimate memories of him poisoning me up, coming into Elk River, poisoning me up, coming into Stacy, Minnesota, poisoning me up when I'm homeless, getting a ride from him to go to Forest Lake, poisoned up in Mounds View, poisoned up all the way dating back to hanging out in fucking Denny's, when it was to suggest that whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through is just your own doing. And it's wrong. It's absolutely criminal, and it's wrong. It's a lie. Just like him poisoning me up here, going out with him to get that couch, or somewhere around that time. It's just like in Mounds View, him poisoning me up, going out to eat with them at Burger King, him taking too long, way too long inside of that Speedway when there was like 2 people out, like one person getting gas and another person getting cigarettes or something. And then I get back home because I had a bad feeling, and I'm like, bro, I didn't even want to come to the Speedway with you. You could have just dropped me back off at home and then zipped back over here. It's like 4 blocks worth of space, or whatever. A little bit more than that, but it's not very far, and it's like, I was legitimately worried about my mom at that specific moment, and I get back and my mom's like gray, and I dialed 911. She had to go to the hospital, and then all of a sudden after she's going to the hospital, I went in the living room, and obviously I have emotional stance with what just happened, but I also had what I felt now, and what I speculate now, is that same covert poisoning that I didn't see happen because it happened inside of the Speedway, if you ask me, putting it in my water or whatever. But these have been crimes over me and my humanity, and I know that others would want to make it be into anything other than what it is, and make me out to just, sound like I'm just crazy, or I've just gone crazy or something, but it's not the truth. The truth would be, if that were the case, your friend of 28 fucking years, excuse my French, should be able to come and have a physical conversation with you without providing you with water or coffee or sprinkling something over your own food that you're making. That's another thing. I saw him in St. Paul Park, actually coming out of the bathroom, looking like he was putting something over my food. The food that I just worked so damn hard to get the money of, to put all of it together, to go to the store, get all of the stuff, to make that pot roast, and in a situation where I'm legitimately homeless and fighting homelessness, and you're going to do this to me. Same thing with Forest Lake. Bringing me to Forest Lake, and he's peeling out of there, and I'm flopping to the fucking gravel going, oh my god, I gotta figure this out. If this is him doing this to me, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is just so fucking scary. I'm going down to the ground in this fashion, and what is he doing this to me for? What is this? It's not my normal health. That's just another part of it. Just every time he's seeming to be around and doing these things is when I'm going down to the ground, and I'm just supposed to lose that memory and think to myself, every time Jesse comes around, I just have what seemingly like a heart attack type of situation happening, heart palpitations, and losing my ability to think straight. No, that's the arsenic trioxide. So it's hard dealing with. It's hard dealing with the pressure of it. It's hard dealing with the thought of it. It's hard dealing with it being what it is. And then on top of it, having my Facebook destroyed again, maliciously and meticulously, because it was like two people at the same time within the same 2-minute frame. Like, we'll do this at this time and this 2 minutes later. And it was taking over the account to suggest that to suggest that they were me, going into my account, hacking me, to then go into the account settings and saying, I don't want the account. Like, remove my account completely as if they were me. And at the same time, having it be somebody saying that I'm going against community standards based on integrity, so that Facebook is already taking down your account. Your account is suspended. Once your account is suspended, then they take over the account, take everything down as if they're you. That way, the algorithm behind Facebook doesn't even see you. Now you go in to try and find your account, and your account is missing. Then you try and go to facebook.com/hacked. They don't do anything. Facebook.com/legal. They don't do anything. No one answers you back. You don't see anything happening. People out here don't see anything happening. And then all of a sudden, I have no outreach of support on my own growth for a network to be able to build for myself to suggest that these people are doing this to me. And not only that, but it's made me in a really bad way in all of my jobs that I've ever had, where I feel I deserved the help of even these jobs. I called, I wrote both of them emails, nice emails asking if I could get their support to help me figure out this crime, seeing if one job had anybody like showing that they had poisoned me. And well, they wouldn't have seen it because it wasn't that. It was that girl that was put inside of that business with intent to be the narcissist, to take my job. Period. End of story. Because that's exactly what her words were. She said to me, "I will have your job." And it wasn't, "I will have your specific task of this business." It was, "I will have your job," meaning I will get your job taken away from you. Which is exactly what these criminal spree masons work on. Putting someone up in your defense and against your defenses to be able to move differently in any kind of fashion. Any kind of fashion that you would have to move is just being completely wiped away. Not for yourself. You want to work. You want to work for yourself, or you want to be able to work in general in your mind to be able to perform the tasks of your job. Well, now they just took all of that away, so you don't have the memory of, oh, you learned something over and over and over and over again, and then you have another person at another job, I should say, suggesting, like, I've told you this time and time again, why aren't you learning these things? And I go, I don't know. It's not normal of me, but I just don't know. And then I ask for the simplest letters to be made, given to the police, suggesting, yes, he is saying the truth. This is actually what he did do, and how his work performance was when he came in, to the work performance he had in the middle of his career here, and to the end of his career. This is how he was responding, and this is the smell that he had, or this is the whatever that he had, and give it to the police. Is anyone willing to do anything or lift any bit of pressure off of me over a very long-standing covert arsenic abuse, on top of the identity theft, on top of wanting to leave me dead so that they could perform the identity theft to take out an insurance policy and make fucking $300,000 or whatever. Who knows how much it was. But it was to take that money and run. Leave me for dead, take that money and run. That's what identity theft is about. Leaving you for dead. So you don't have anybody in your corner. So you don't have anybody that can hear you out for what is actually happening in your life. Which is exactly what these people were doing. Otherwise, where are they? Are they having a conversation with me about it? No. Are they willing to talk to me? No. Are they trying to do anything right in my life prior to them? That isn't to portray to their kids or portray to the other people that in their life that they're not this way. They would never do this. No, he's just out of his mind. Blah, blah, blah. Who in their right mind is going to even admit that kind of thing to their own children or their own friends or their own community? Nobody. There's your answer. Nobody. Nobody in their right mind playing about a murder is going to go like, oh yeah, I tried to murder this person. Unless they're in a fucking syndicate together to do so. Being paid or something to do so. It's like CIA type of MK Ultra crimes over me. They don't want me to ever come into myself. They didn't want me ever to be able to reason with what was happening to me. And so I'm looking for your support because I don't know what to do in this. I don't know what to do in this because this house has never been mine. My life hasn't even been mine. To the true organic nature of what I would be living like? No. Even rollerblading, super hard to lose. I lost, let's see, my 90, so it was like 130 pounds, and I wanted to go 160, or right around there. But I was stopped in Elk River there. When I got pulled up out of that place, it was to take my job away from ITI. And then once I got my job away from ITI, love bombing me with Emily, and then suggesting that, my brother saying that, we don't want you to come around if you're not going to be able to keep the girl that you're with, and at least buy the kids a gift. That's what was said. And so I was like, okay, well, that was a great move because she had all this extra money to throw around. But then the goal of like me having the vehicle, the RAV4, was supposed to be like, this is your vehicle and it's not mine. But then when it was like, okay, well, 3 months later or whatever, 4 months later, and I'm like still paying on it and still taking care of it and everything, then why can't it be in my name? Or why can't my name at least be on the title? Because I want a car that, if it's mine, and we're in a relationship, in a trusting fashion of moving forward in a trusting relationship, that should not be the issue at all. If I'm in a situation where I have something to give to somebody that I love, I will buy it and I'll put it in their name. It's not anything to do with me at all. Nothing. It's yours. Not mine. So all of that was a lie. All of it. Every last portion of it was a lie. To lie to me about who these people were, what their intentions were over me, and why they were moving on me so heavily, to make me out to feel like a bad person, right? And make me feel like shit, because it's all psychologically manipulative, and it leaves you, if you think about it in any other way, it's like leaving you thinking that you're the one in the wrong when you're not. They're putting it upon you in that fashion to purposefully blackball you in your reality, and that isn't you. Then that's the poison, that's the biological warfare, you see. And so that's a big important piece that is missing in other people's thought process about the type of crime that it is happening here. One more. Freaking hungry. I just think it's so unfair how these people treated me. And you know what? I loved my people. And what I mean by that is every single person that was even gamed up in my life in that fashion, I loved my people. They had no right doing this to me. Like, how could they do that to anybody? How? Gotta calm down. It's another part of it is just dealing with the physical part of all that abuse and the arsenic abuse. I can't be, if I just blow up and I'm all emotional. Oh gosh. I don't know, I'm gonna fall down to the ground. This is exactly where they want me anyway, the whole time. So, I don't know if you guys can pay attention to my other work. And maybe you have some ideas that I'm not able to think of. But I would really appreciate the help and support in this. There we go. I'm trying to make over easy eggs. And this time I didn't explode not one yolk. Where last time they all exploded. I don't know, my back hurts. My life hurts. My heart hurts emotionally and physically. Goes down into my left arm and into my hand. And it's just been going on for I don't know, 3 years or something now. Or going on 3 years. I don't even know how long it's been. I've been dealing with a whole lot of pain and heartache because I wasn't able to discover what was happening to me and where it was coming from, you see. But now that I did, it's pretty freaking obvious to me that I'm not out of my mind. Not anymore. I wanted to get rid of these people in my life. I don't want to feel like that never again. And I didn't deserve to feel like that in the whole time of my life. Wondering, where is this coming from? How is it happening to me? All of those things. But all these people played about my life in that fashion, and they didn't want their parties and their people or their people's parents or anyone to see this kind of thing. So getting rid of me was just a grand solution to their problems. Their problems that they took about my life. But it's not right and it's not fair. It's not. And neither would anybody else be okay with it. I don't know. I haven't been able to do any job that I've been wanting to have. They took away not only my availability for my own organic performance skills, but if they couldn't take it away in that way, they would take away my availability through my car, staging me up for accidents, or gaming up my brakes, or just gaming up my whole life, getting you to drive to and fro for no reason other than their own reasonings. Like my brother coming here to take away the poison from my own house, the Metamucil that was gamed up, that at the time I was already gamed up because I had already still had trust of my friendship that wouldn't do that to me, or at least some availability of that mind frame still. But when that mind frame of me went, it was specifically, oh hell no, I'm not going to deal with this, and I'm not going to tolerate this, and nor should I have to. What you're doing to me is absolutely wrong, and it's criminal. And then I'm just supposed to think that I'm just supposed to be okay with just, oh, okay, you guys wanted to game up my life, so I guess I should just go and die, right? So y'all can live your lives. You know, like, I never even got a portion of mine. Not even a little bit. Here's my breakfast. Some eggs and bacon and toast. It's just sad that I don't have anyone to enjoy it with. Oh. I got tea going, or water for tea, but I'm gonna have some juice. Whatever. Oh, that's supposed to be up, right? Yeah, one tea already. Well, 2 teas already. So the same cup for tea and juice. So yeah, I hardly know how these people can live with themselves. Ouch. Ugh. I don't know how they can live with themselves. But I'm gonna eat in peace. And I just really hope that I can get you guys to share me on your social media. And especially if you're friends and family. Can you share it with family, my cousins, and my aunts and uncles to add me in. I don't even know who's out here supporting me, but if you reach out to me in a formidable way, I can let you know the people I would like you to write to. I could make a list of them to the best of my availability, and I'm hoping that I can reach supporters out here, because it's just so wrong what these people did to me, and I deserve the formidable support now. And anyway, just thanks for being here and watching me cook and cry and I'd like to be alone now. So thanks for being here. Till next time, I hope that you stay tuned for more of my work and that you listen to more of my work. It would be a lot different than it is right now, as I was planning on building an amazing website. So just thanks so much for reaching it this far. Peace. God bless you guys.